After the snooping, the sneaking, well, this just in. Some of the president's top political appointees, including Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius, are using secret government email accounts. The Associated Press blowing the cover off of this story today. Malkin calling out the hypocrisy right now. Why is this such a big deal, Michelle? What do you think?
Well, it underscores something that I've been saying for many, many years now, Neil, and that is that this is an administration whose hypocrisy knows no end when it comes to their phony pledges of transparency. It's reveal as we say, not as we conceal. And this has been known for a long, long time. I'm so glad that the Johnny-come-latelys at the Associated Press have finally acknowledged and exposed that, well, it may not be the most transparent administration ever. Gee willikey.
But what's the difference? They'll argue and come back and say there's nothing untoward going on here. I think that was basically Jay Carney's take. And they'll say, well, it would. They haven't said this, but I would imagine they'll jump on the idea, well, a lot of people have multiple email addresses, and what's the big deal?
Well, of course, there's just a basic law that requires all of these government officials to conduct their business in disclosable communications. And, of course, if you've got these secret email accounts, these hidden sock puppet accounts, none of that is going to be revealed when you do these FOIA requests. And this is an administration that has staked its claim as the most bright-lighted, publicly accessible in all of human history. And now the sunlight is coming, not so much because of the mainstream media lapdogs. I think it's very important to remember that the reason why this is a story now is because of the Competitive Enterprise Institute. One of their fellows, Chris Horner, who had written a book last fall called The Liberal War on Transparency, had been pressing the EPA. That's the first agency where the stench of non-disclosure had started emitting. And he's the one that uncovered that Lisa Jackson, the former EPA head, had this sock puppet named Richard Windsor. And of course, when there are public groups trying to press and see what's going on with these agencies, it's hard to figure out who's doing what when you've got all of these secret accounts. And what the significance of the lawsuit that CEI had filed last fall, and that finally the AP followed up on with its own FOIA requests that have been ignored by the administration and subverted for months, is the fact that it's not just a single agency, that, as you said, Kathleen Sebelius has been implicated, a complete corruptocrat who has a long-time history of subverting disclosure laws back to her days as Kansas governor.
But you can, Michelle, you can go ahead and get these other emails, right? I mean, you could put a FOIA request in and say, not only the official government emails, I want to get, let's say, your AP or your Fox or whatever. We want all these emails. Now, will they claim that in response, well, these emails don't count because therein lies a real potential constitutional crisis?
Right, of course. And I don't think that anybody can assume that they're going to get everything or even a fraction of what's legally obliged by the administration to give them. Look at what happened to the AP. They went knocking on the Labor Department doors and said, hey, give us all of these secret email accounts. And they said, well, you're going to have to pay us $1 million to get it. Ha, ha, ha.
Okay, so I take it you don't believe any of this. But, Michelle, it's always good seeing you. Thank you very much.
You bet. Take care.
Michelle Malkin.